What's going on, everybody? What's up, Ryan? Thanks for joining, as
What's
always. Yeah, man. So, how many people we got in here so far? I can't even see. Let me see. Check over here. We've got like 2 or 3 viewers. New record. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So, yeah, welcome to this stream. I couldn't come up with a name for it, so I'm always open to name suggestions from the comments. If anyone can come up with something, try to make this a regular monthly, maybe semi-monthly thing. But joining me and hopefully in future episodes, we've got Ryan of Ryan West Industries. You guys probably, if you watch the channel, you know who he is, or at least you know the company. You've probably seen the products. So, Ryan,
What up, man? I'm happy to be here. Let's start doing this more often, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I know a lot of people want to see, what kind of things we have to talk about, things of that nature. So let's get started, man. First topic we got here. So we wanted to know about how you advertise, because I know the first time I found out about your company was from an advertisement, and I remembered seeing it one time before, probably a year before, and I don't think I've seen any since.
Yeah. So that's a great question, man. I typically turn my ads on and off depending on where we're at in production, especially during the summertime. I usually don't run any ads for my own business. If you do see an ad, it's probably because we're like overstock on something and I just want to blow it out and get it out of inventory so it doesn't sit. So we don't spend a lot of money on ads, even though we do get a lot of leads. It's weird, man. But you know what's weird about this too is we got a client that hit us up like 2 weeks ago, and he calls me, he's like, hey, first of all, most people are shocked when I answer the phone, because
like,
they talk directly to me,
right?
And it's always kind of an awkward couple seconds, but he was like, hey, I want to start my own product line, and I was on Chat GPT, and I was asking Chat GPT, like, what should I do? How do I market it? How do I start bottling it and this and that? And he told me on the phone, he goes, it responded and it told me to contact you. And I was like, what?
Sweet.
That's crazy. That's crazy, dude. Yeah, I gave him the phone number, gave him our website and everything. And I thought that was so weird, but yeah, we don't spend a lot of money on ads, man. But I do help the people we private label for. I help them spend money and do the targeting and stuff.
All right. And so you'd say probably that being the owner of the company who answers the phone, it probably makes a big impact on a lot of people and influences their decision on whether they're going to go with you or another company to be their blender.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's always, like I said, it's always a shock. They talk directly to me. And they always say, wow, I couldn't even get somebody on the phone at this other company, or they wouldn't even respond to my emails. And in most cases, because, man, if I could talk to you guys all day, that'd be great. But I'll just end up saying something like, hey, can you please send us an email? And what we do is we send you the price list back and a full introduction. It's like 3 or 4 paragraphs that answers all the questions that you want to ask me. So we try to streamline it,
Yeah.
Because some of these guys want to talk for hours, and like I love doing that, but
got to work.
I can't, man.
I hear you. Well, hey, I mean, you're here now, so we got a chance for people to ask questions. We got one question here, probably not related so much to detailing. Maybe it is. I don't know. We got Sheepstar. I believe he's in Canada. Would you rather fight 1 horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
Damn.
I think I'd probably fight 100 duck-sized horses. You could just kick them all.
Yeah.
Do we get a weapon?
Yeah, but then what if you like just put the other one in the chokehold and just like choked it out?
I could do that. Yeah. I mean, well, how strong would a duck-sized horse be? I know horses are strong, but are ducks going to be that strong? Does it scale?
You're naked choke the horse duck.
There you go.
And then like roll it over and
I mean, do we see all the workout equipment in the background? So I'm sure you're ready to handle it at a moment's notice. All right. Hey, we got another question here. What makes your brand stand out from the rest, and what makes yours any different than anyone else's?
So I don't try to have my brand stand out from the rest. I try to help other people's brand. When I started my own brand, we quickly shifted to private labeling because everybody wanted to put their label on our product, and it was kind of weird at first, but then I thought, like, okay, who cares if they sell a product and I'm selling a product? It's a win-win for everybody.
Right.
But we do actually stand out. Okay. Yeah, we do make the ceramic detail sprays in-house. They're very stout, it's very chemical resistant. Martin's tested them. Really only thing that's going to take it off is like a Goo Gone. And the pricing too. Obviously the pricing, like Atomic's $5 wholesale a bottle.
And that's probably what I gotta say too, from a consumer standpoint. When I first came across your brand, we didn't know each other. We'd never talked. We didn't exist in each other's lives. So I remember seeing the advertisements. I went to the website and I was looking at it and I'm like, wow, these products are actually pretty cheap. Like how good are they? Because, usually for, like Fusion, for example, we know from my tests and others' tests that is a really, really stout spray coating, water-based spray coating, and that beats out even some solvent-based spray coatings. And it's what do you sell it for on the website? Like $20 a bottle?
Yeah, 20.
Yeah. And then you've always got some sort of discounts available. It's like, so you can get it for really cheap. You can get bottles of soap. I was looking, I'm like, man. So I remember I ordered a bunch of stuff and I came in, I started testing it out, and the ceramics especially, I was like, dude,
yeah,
what a deal. And that's probably the same thing that I hear most people say about the brand now that, since then, you got me in helping you do sales, which is been an experience so far, dealing with people. Not that, most of it's been positive, and you have people that just like, hey dude, I want to get a quote for, 5 gallons of this, 55 gallons of that. And, it's like, okay, well, let me get the quote together. And then you just don't hear from them. You're like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. It's that's just how it's going to be, man. But yeah, I mean, we even sell the soaps for like $3 a bottle, as low as $3. I mean, when we launch brands, we start you there, but in most cases we'll always even discount more off the wholesale when you're doing like tote quantities. And we've done that in the past, and we give massive discounts when you're moving that much product through something like Amazon or TikTok or Instagram, any social media, Yeah.
And there's a Sweet Onion Auto Detailing. So Sweet Onion is a person that I know he's gotten some products. He was really happy with them. And I mean, there he is right there.
Definitely appreciate sticking with us, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
All right. So Outdoor Detailer wants to know, what's the status of the rinseless wash you've been working on?
So, I mean, we've been sending samples out to people still, and we really, man, dude, hopefully Eddie doesn't kill me for this.
He's waiting.
Honestly, it just hasn't been a priority for us. It just isn't something that we move a lot of. And, now is the time when I kind of get into like testing and playing with more chemicals, because it's slowed down wintertime. Like no one's really detailing, sales have slowed down
on the R&D.
So this is when, like, this next month is when we're definitely gonna be focusing on a lot more and playing with more raw materials. We have $20,000 worth of machinery landing at the end of this month to help with production. So we're growing, but we're also, we want to stick to what works, and we don't want to have a million different products. We know what works, and we know what sells. So,
well, that's awesome. So as you said, you test the products before you put them into production and start selling them to people. very few companies that I know of actually do that. And whether a company says they do or don't, it shows when people start using the products. I won't say any company names, but there's been videos on my channel where it's got all these claims on it. I use it. I'm like, did anyone try this before you filled thousands of bottles and threw it on shelves? Like, what is this?
Yeah.
Right on. And then Sheep Star Mint are the products in Canada. I thought he was asking if we were in Canada. And I know you don't have, your products are just, they ship from Florida, right?
Yeah.
They're not, unless somebody has wholesaled a bunch of it, which they're probably doing their own thing with it. As far as I know, we don't really have Ryan West Industry products on shelves anywhere.
No, we're not in Canada. It's just with the taxes and the freight, we would need somebody to be one mass distributor for us there, and then they would deal with smaller, vendors in Canada. Because the thing is when you buy in bulk, as we give you the best price, but the shipping is a lot cheaper. So, we'll go down that road eventually. This next 4 years is going to be a lot different, maybe. And I mean, we do ship stuff to Canada, but it's just people buying it off the website.
Yeah. So you can order it from the website. I don't know how the tax situation in Canada works. I'm sure if you live in Canada, you probably know. So that's what you can expect as far as shipping goes. So Mango 350Z, any new products you're looking forward to releasing this year? I know obviously the rinseless. What other products do we got going on?
So we do got the glass sealant that's already selling. We just haven't put it on the website. I mean, here's the deal, guys. When you email us, we send you the price list with like 40 plus different formulas on it. So you're going to see the entire inventory of what we sell. The website is not fully updated, and it's just, I should spend more time on the website, but it's
not where the money's coming from.
It's annoying, kind of.
Yeah.
So
trying to bounce between. Yeah, I gotcha.
I mean, we get the guys that email us are like, they see the spreadsheet and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know you sell all this stuff. And I'm like,
those prices on there are so good.
Yeah. And then, we do like marine stuff. We do household cleaners.
I remember seeing your
detergent stuff.
Your the off-road stuff too. I've seen. So.
Off-road stuff we do. Really anything you want, we can make it.
Yeah, right on. And he's not lying, because with private labeling, white labeling, whatever you want to call it, a lot of people think that you just go to B&B blending and they say, here's our pink detail spray, and they sell it to you, bottle it for you, whatever. But a lot of people do get custom formulations. So a lot of these blenders are basically, essentially what happens, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you take like one of your base formulas and they'll say, hey, I want it to be more of this or more of that, thinner, thicker, different color, blah, blah, blah. And so, okay, you tweak it to their liking, and then they start selling it as their own product. And I think that's probably a majority of products on the market that aren't coming directly from a blender or a company owned by a blender.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of works that way. With, things like soap and stuff, we typically batch it in a tote first, and it's usually clear or off-white. And then from there, like, let's say you want to order 160 bottles, we then downpour it into a smaller 55-gallon drum. Well, maybe you want to add raise the pH or something. So we'll add a little, degreaser, to it, yeah. Or, sodium hydroxide or something like that, just to raise the pH and get it a little bit more cleaning power. But it's just I've kind of perfected the whole manufacturing process, man, on how to do it small batch. Like, right. we love when we get the big clients, and we've had them, and some of those guys have sold their companies, but we want to grow long relationships with you guys, and don't you want to have a product that's like McGuire's, or
and the focus is on the small, individually owned detail companies, or just the shops, like they got 1 or 2 locations and they want to start getting their selling their own branded product in their waiting room or whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when
because dude, look, if you have a detailing shop and you're selling products in the front, that could easily add $30,000 to your sales revenue, like easily.
Yeah. Like every time you ceramic coat a car, here, take this detailer, this and that. This is what you use to maintain it.
Exactly. And the thing is if you take it to the next level and you start marketing it properly on TikTok, we have guys that sell 5,000-10,000 bottles a month on TikTok. So
TikTok videos get views like nothing like YouTube. YouTube's like way behind. I mean, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because I know the money you make on TikTok's not as good as YouTube, but
yeah,
you can easily hit a bigger audience on YouTube, which is awesome. Or not on YouTube, on TikTok. I'm getting all confused. But as we know, TikTok is going away, as we know.
Yeah, it passed the House and the Senate, didn't it?
I believe so. I think they basically gave TikTok an ultimatum. As far as I know, it would have to be owned by or bought by an American company to continue existing in the U.S. But
yeah, that's crazy, man.
So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, we were all on MySpace once, and everyone's migrated to all these different social. I mean, you remember Vine?
Yeah.
So something will just take TikTok's place. That's all it is. So if it goes away, but whatever. That app is, for a lot of people, brain rot.
Brainwashing.
Yeah, stuff like that. Anyways, next topic what we should discuss here are marketing. So marketing, how your company markets your products versus how other companies make these big, bold claims that are mostly bullshit, or stretched truth, or just worded very intricately. But I know, across all your products, I've never seen anything where it's just like, hey, this is a 500-year, we'll make you $1 million detailer, something like that.
Yeah. So you have you seen these marketing companies on Facebook, like the way they advertise to get your business?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like,
they light the hood on fire.
Yeah, but they usually, Yeah, they usually require you to provide a lot of upfront capital, like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 to even deal with them.
Yeah.
The thing with me, guys, is I give you all their secrets for free. Like, I know how to do it, because
you can make it.
Like I said, if you sell a product, I sell a product. So why it'd be foolish of me not to say, hey, here's how you target, here's what you should spend. That's what I do. I set you guys up to sell and be successful. Now it's up to you to kind of set up your Amazon store, and whether you want to ship directly from, your house, we could, like I said, ship the product to you and then you distribute it. But Amazon is really the way to go if you want to take it to like over 6 figures, 100%. And the thing is it's staying in stock on Amazon is very important, because when you run out, you get penalized, because you're taking up floor space and you're not moving any product. And this is why we are kind of taking clients from these other big blenders, because they're not able to keep up. When I get a call every week, like, hey, sorry, Ryan, I got to come back to you and, buy another 300, 400 bottles. And, they're a 14-week lead time.
Yeah, I know. Like B&B is one of the biggest ones, and I know, like, I've figured it out. When someone goes out of stock on something and they're out of stock for like a few months, I'm like, oh yeah, I know where their products are probably coming from, which doesn't really make a difference to me. But yeah. Anyways, we gotta hold on. To interrupt, we got a celebrity in here, JB. What's up, Joey? Hey, thank you for honoring us with your presence. Shout out to Joey and the Rag Company. He's the I forget what they call it, but sponsored by them on Instagram, Graham Detail or something like that. I don't remember, man. I don't keep up with all this stuff. Anyways, Joey, what's up? So we got on to the next thing, which we kind of been talking about this whole time, wholesale. So we've already, you've discussed how you wholesale. You can do small batch for people. If they want custom formulas, 160 bottles. Otherwise, like if they want it as is, they can just buy, a box full of it. But yeah, I think how, you focus on the little guy helps a lot of companies get on their feet so that they can grow and hopefully, become the big guy that needs more orders than you can even keep up with at the time. But that's what you do. I remember you've told me of a few companies that got to that point and they've grown so big they had to move on to whatever other things, but bought out by other companies, I think you were saying. But yeah, that.
Yeah. Well, and that's kind of their goal though too, because they want to be bought out. They just want to check. They want to grow the company in a couple years, and maybe, I don't want to say anybody's name, but like the bigger blenders will buy them, and they'll become their direct manufacturer. Maybe they'll keep the marketing team, the guy who's marketing it on board, but you don't. We started some of these guys with just like 100 bottles, man. And then they would like substantially grow within like just weeks, man. It was crazy. 40,000 bottle POs, every other week. And
so these are like,
we couldn't even keep up at the beginning, so it's been a growing lesson for me the last 10 years. And I like what I do. I like the challenge, but like I said, for example, we got more machinery coming in to fulfill more orders, like the gallon filling machine. I think we're going to be able to do 600 gallons an hour or something like that, 700. But
that's a lot of product.
I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to bring more people on board. And here's the deal. Even if you don't want a private label, why wouldn't you want to save money for your detailing business?
Yeah. And that's a good point. So I've, there's a few people I know that they will just order 5 gallons of soap, iron remover, whatever, just to use at their shop because they look at it. And even after shipping factors in, they're like, that's still cheaper than these other companies can offer with free shipping. So they're all on board,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty good. So next topic, just the detailing industry as a whole. Obviously, we see more and more brands getting to the point where they end up on the shelves of the auto parts stores, at which once you've grown to that size, you're huge. But then we got companies popping up left and right. And I got to be honest, a lot of the new companies I see don't really seem to be doing anything new. Probably Armor Detail Supply was the last one that really stood out amongst their peers. And I mean, they've gotten into all kinds of online, websites now that sell their stuff, which is great for them. But yeah, what am I even talking about anymore? I'm getting way off track. But yeah, what's your general opinion of the detailing industry right now, as far as these products and companies go, and how they're handling things?
Well, most people assume that this industry is flooded and that it's becoming a flooded market, and we're definitely not. Globally, this industry is over $10 billion, and in the next 5 years, it's going to grow 4 billion. So even if you capture 0.0001% of that, you're over a millionaire. Like, you're a millionaire. So it's guys, it's really easy to make over $100,000 selling products on social media. All we need from you is to just get in front of the camera and demonstrate the products, and you'll sell them. And obviously you need to spend some money on ads. But if you're starting out at the beginning, you definitely need to do grassroots marketing. You definitely need to give some of the product out for free to get traffic going. But some of the biggest brands that we started, they would only have like 500 likes on their social media, but they were selling thousands and thousands of bottles because on the back end of their account, they're spending ads. They're spending money to get the product in front of your face for you to buy it. So, this isn't like the 1980s, guys. We don't get the JCPenney's catalog anymore. It's all electronic. This is too easy. So if you want to sell the product, when you call me, we'll definitely get you started quickly and easily. Right. And we do have product in inventory, so we can, like I said, you want to buy 80 bottles, we just have to check what we have in stock. So,
and I just got to say on that, when you are ordering wholesale, you got to get out of the customer mindset or the consumer mindset, and you got to get into the business mindset. Generally when you're doing things wholesale, there's not going to be free shipping. Shipping's, there's sometimes there's same day shipping, but a lot of times, it may take a week to get your larger orders out, things like that. Um, but you just got to remember, if you're a business, you need to plan to keep your stuff in stock and you need to backfill it. Don't wait until you're down to your last bottles before you order. If make sure you always have a case in stock, not out for display. Once you open that box, you should be ordering the next one. And that way you make sure you never run out. And if you never run out and people keep buying it, it's a snowball effect. It starts out small, slowly, takes some time, but once you grow, you can just kind of run away with it. We've seen a couple of YouTube channels here that recently started their own thing, and looks like it started out pretty good for them, and they just started out small, doing something, got some more people involved, and just kept that going. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I just want to touch on the whole big box thing though too. Your goal is to not go big box, guys. You do not want to be in Walmart. You don't want to be on the shelf at Home Depot, because
it's like corporation level
buying
too.
Those products, guys, they're not. If you're a true detailer and you own a detailing shop, you need to be buying the products at wholesale. So like I said, if you're buying big box, stop immediately. But also, if you want a private label, you definitely don't want to be in big box. You could ship directly from Amazon to your customer and never touch the product. A lot of these marketing companies, they don't even touch it. They never see it. They never deal with it, whether it's Amazon shipping it or we're sending it to like a 3PL company to ship it for them. They're just behind the computer doing the analytics, and it's very simple.
Yeah, and I know a lot of the sales in big box stores, grocery stores in general, these companies, they're corporations at that point when they're able to supply their products. Because I think AutoZone, Advanced Auto, they're going to make you start with supply 100,000 bottles or something, plus pay a fee or something like that, and then you're only making maybe $1 or $2 per bottle profit, if that. Turtle wax is probably like pennies on the dollar, because they're everywhere.
The margins, guys, big box are so tiny. And first of all, you don't get paid right away. You get paid 60, 90 days later after you deliver the product to them. They're not paying you up front for your brand new product they never tried. So if you're in this mindset of like this dream where you want to get your product in Walmart, stop right now. You do not want to get in Walmart. So stand out, first of all, and just it's just so easy to do this, guys, on the internet, and Amazon is kind of like such an amazing company.
That's where everyone wants to order from, because I got a Prime account.
Exactly, dude. You guys can get the product. Your customers can get the product next day, depending on where you're FBAing the pallets to, because there's different hubs everywhere. So, I would say like strategically, you want to be in the middle of the US and distributing from there. But it just depends on how much capital you have to invest into starting your brand,
Right.
I would say if you have, let's say, $5,000 to start your brand, let's say you and your friend want to start a product, $25 each, $2,500 each. It's easy, no brainer. You're going to triple your money, 100%. All of our products offer you over 100% profit margin, guys. So you have so much room to play with, and
you just got to put in the work.
Yeah, you have to really put the work in, guys.
Products aren't going to sell themselves, not yet, anyways. But on your note about the big box stores too, when I've seen it happen, when a brand starts showing up in big box stores, all of a sudden everyone, it's no longer seen as premium or whatever people get in their heads about. I know when Adams started showing up in first, it started showing up in AutoZone, Advanced Auto Parts, the O'Reillys, and a lot of the diehard Adams fans were like, "Oh no, it's not my premium Adams." And then once it started showing up at Walmart, people were losing it. I mean, really, and honestly, I've never thought Adams was like the second coming of Jesus, as some people see. It's a good brand, good products, but just they're not anything crazy or anything. But people are like, hey, but now it's seen, as it's not premium because it's in the big box store, and I'm not even saying the brands in the big box store are bad. I mean, Meguiar's has been around forever, and we know they make some solid products. But it's just the perception, especially if you want to keep your profit margins high, the big box isn't the place you want to go.
Yeah. You're always going to try to cut costs as much as possible, guys, but just don't go buy a cheap product. When we get leads every day and we know you guys are shopping around and you're talking to other blenders, we often know about it because I talk to some of these blenders, guys. Like we know if you call the other guy, pretty much. But don't push pennies, man. Like if I sell you a $5 ceramic detail spray at wholesale, and then the other blender's like, oh, well, I'm going to sell it to you for $4.75, and it's going to be the same product. It's most likely not going to be the same product. It's going to be more watered down. It's going to be cheaper, but you're buying what you want to sell. Do you want to sell a cheap product or do you want to sell a premium product?
And you can turn around and sell it for $15. So,
exactly
that 25 cents going to make or break you.
Yeah. And then you got to make sure that the blender can produce that product every time.
I mean, all I can say is if you call a lot of these other major blenders, you just talk to some random dude or chick in marketing, sales, whatever, who's probably never detailed a car in their life. So it's just the nature of larger companies. It's going to be like that. But that actually makes me think of a topic I didn't have in here, but we can talk about it. So we have people that are chemists or this or that or whatever. I remember I was watching Jimbo's podcast that I believe Joey was on actually. And they were Jimbo was talking about like meeting chemists because Jimbo's got his own product line now, meeting chemists that don't know a thing about detailing. They've never washed a car in their life. And then, detailers that know nothing about chemistry. And so you got to kind of meet in the middle between the chemistry and because a chemist can make a product that on paper looks great. But once it hits the car, well, you just introduced all these other variables that they didn't account for. And, that kind of goes back with companies that field test versus companies that don't. Because if you're testing this in a really nice shop with, the cleanest water, the cleanest, purest water from the Himalayas or wherever the hell, and it works great there. Cool. Okay. Why don't you go give your product to a couple people, say, hey, you wash cars for a living or you wash your own car every now and then, try it out. Let me know what you think. And that way you can get some real feedback from people that are going to be the ones that are buying your products, because all these, I'd have to imagine for these larger companies, Meguiar's, which is owned by 3M, Turtle Wax, majority of the people that work for these companies probably do not use detailing products, period. They just go to the car wash. So you just got to remember who you're dealing with. Not that it's a bad thing, but you got to keep that detailer's perspective on things as well. So don't get ahead of yourselves. Whatever you're going to get, whatever you want to push out, make sure it works. And
I mean, the thing is like Jimbo's kind of right, but in a different way. I look at it like marketing guys don't know a thing about detailing. They know how to market a product. They don't know how to bust out a polisher and polish paint. But as far as me, I don't have a degree in chemistry, dude. I'm just like an enthusiast that loves learning and reading and testing. And for sure, I test the products here before we send them out to you guys. You know what I mean? That would be kind of foolish. But, I'm learning something new every day in this industry. But one thing I learned the last 3 or 4 years is the loyalty it sucks because, but it's just as far as like starting branded products and them shopping around for a cheaper product and then potentially leaving. So we don't lock you guys in on some crazy NDA or like, oh, you need to stay with us for 10 years or this or that.
Can't talk about it. Sorry. Yeah.
just we wanna link up with marketing companies that want to be loyal and stay and build a relationship and grow the company. You know, it's very easy, dude. And
Absolutely.
so, some will say like, well, Ryan, why don't you just grow your own brand? And I just don't have the time to do the marketing. I'm not a marketing guy. I like being in the lab and testing and playing with stuff in my blenders and talking to these raw material suppliers. You know, I have great contacts with companies like Univar and Dow, and we have reps that help us and guide us a little bit, but we're always looking to kind of innovate, but in a way where everybody has a rinseless wash. It's like, I want mine to be completely different. No one's ever touched it. No one's ever tried it before, but it's an amazing product. And, you know,
not just an okay product. You know, like a lot of the ones coming out. Because I've tested a lot of the rinselesses out, and a majority of them are just kind of okay. They don't really excel in one thing or another. They work, but none of them really. I mean, I won't say none of them stood out, but most of them didn't really stand out. It's like, you know, between this and that it's really no difference. It's going to clean my car either way.
But also, dude, we're in the marine industry too. So, you know, I make engine flush, I make a salt off, I make all these products that are in other industries too. In the household cleaning industry, we make laundry detergents, we make all kinds of stuff. So whatever you can imagine to start, it's easy. It's one thing I've learned so far in the industry too is linking up with the right people. You know, you got to have connections.
Meeting the right people helps.
It definitely does. So, you know, I want to continue to grow the company and build the portfolio, but with people that don't want to just build the brand and sell it and make a quick buck. You know what I mean? I don't want that.
I gotcha. Well, what do you say we do a giveaway?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. All right. And I know we wanted to do a couple of giveaways. And I was thinking, you know, like soap or something like that, a wash package. But what do you think if somebody wins, they can choose their own 16-ounce bottle of whatever they want?
Let's do it, man.
Coating, obviously.
I'm gonna let you handle it.
Cool.
We can definitely.
I gotta think of a question to ask. Okay, some of you know that I was in the military, in the Army specifically. Ryan was also in the Army. We were both 19 series, which I might have just trying to give my answer away, but probably not. I don't know if anyone knows what that means. What was my job when I was in the Army? I've talked about it before, and there's things that you've seen around the shop that represent what I did. But if anyone knows that answer, we'll let you choose something from the website. So we just got to wait for someone to answer that. Oh, there we go. Well, he knows me. Steve. All right, Steve. That's absolutely correct. Tanks. Yes. Not that one. Tanks. Well, yes, that was my rank as well as specialist. But tanks. And that's what tanks do. Absolutely. So sweet. So Steve, you win a product of your choice. I know you're familiar with a lot of the products, so hey, you get a free bottle of something. Just you can DM me what you want, and we'll get that order out to you next week. All right, let's do a second one. Got to think of another question. What is the year, make, and model of my car? You got to get all three. I know there's a bit of a delay between what I'm saying and what we're seeing right now, so. Because see, yeah, if you look at my old videos, there's old tank videos from like 15 years ago. So not everybody looks that deep in the past, but some people do. I think the first video I uploaded was when I was like 17, recording the Blue Angels practicing where I was living. That was pretty cool. Enthusiast, close, but not the wrong model here. Wrong model here. Let's see. This is where we're at, but no, he got the model year wrong, but he's close.
You know, Eric has the Stinger, and
Yeah. Oh
Dude,
yeah.
that thing is, he's got the extra injector on it.
He's got the GTS, which was like a limited edition with the orange and the
Yeah,
carbon fiber and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
And then he's doing some like temp mod on it. It's like a rewire temp mod. It gives another like 70 horsepower or
I
something.
don't
It's
know. I've seen some people do
crazy.
some weird things. I got a tune from a Korean company called Lap 3, and that takes the engine to like around, because I think it's like 460 or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. Or no, it's 360 something. It takes the engine somewhere around like close to 500 horsepower because,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the Stinger's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of engine and turbo to work with.
yeah.
And I think the down at the wheels, it's around like 430. So it moves. And we've got you know, Texas Toll Road 130 here, which the speed limit's 80. I take that to work every day, so definitely cruising. But hey, enthusiast, he good comeback. So yeah, 2019 Kia Stinger is what my car is, and it's starting to get on in age, and so. But it's a nice car. I just did an oil change on it today, and that like 46,000 miles. So you get a lot of years out of that car. So enthusiast, just DM me or email me, whatever. Let us know what you want, and we'll get you a product. And then the third giveaway we wanted to do was a ceramic coating kit. So I will let the winner's choice if you want the 7H kit or the 9H kit. The 9H kit is more durable, but it is a bit tougher to use. I don't advise you use it outdoors at all. It pretty much flashes instantly outside. 7H kit's a lot more user friendly. So
Yeah.
I just got to think of a question to ask. Well, while I think of a question, Ryan, I know you're also into 3D printing, and you know, I want to know from the audience what types of things could be 3D printed to help with detailing. And Ryan, have you printed out anything that helps with detailing or cars in general?
Yeah, we actually, so I have a 3D printing farm. So I have just 6 printers, but I'm always tinkering, guys. I have a ton of hobbies. Okay. If it's not working on my 90s car collection, it's either 3D printing, gym, computers. I talk to Martin more about computers than detailing. We're texting each other daily about ETA Prime. So,
Yeah, ETA Prime, newest Intel card coming out, new small form factor PCs, and
yeah. So I have a lot of hobbies, but yeah, 3D printing is one of them.
oh,
I actually
hey, there you go.
I've been 3D printing these they're brush holders for your bucket.
Right
Quick
on.
and easy. So
Steve thinks a base for the new MJJC because they used don't know why they did, but they went with clear plastic, and Keeve showed how delicate that is. Granted, most people probably don't drop their foam cannons, but it does happen. Or in my case, you've got other people you live with that kick them over and not paying attention, and the cheaper ones have broken because they're clear plastic. So yeah, a base that could maybe protect it from dropping.
yeah, I remember we talked about that. So I have a 3D scanner where I can just scan. I just need to scan the lid of the canister that it comes with, and just mock up. I mean, I could make it like double the size if I wanted to.
3D print the whole bottle.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the plan. I would 3D print the whole bottle, but I was thinking about doing like a little somehow where you can just pour soap into it without taking the lid off, and it's such an easy. You just
I've
have a
seen
little
a
spout come
couple of
off of
things like that.
Yeah,
and they just have like it kind of looks like the base of a beaker bong.
yeah,
So where you put the down stem, you can just pour your soap in.
yep.
That's the only thing I could think of that it kind of resembles, but it's not the most. It's not the prettiest looking container, but I mean it works. But I mean, I'm sure you could come up with something a bit nicer than that.
I love doing CAD design too, guys. I do a lot of CAD. I'm just always kind of doing something different, but yeah, that's easy. I definitely want to look into doing that, man.
Sweet. And I thought of a question to ask. So whoever answers this question first will win either a 7H or a 9H ceramic coating kit of your whichever one you want. So as I mentioned earlier, Ryan and I were both 19 series in the Army. Ryan I think you were in the Army probably about 5 years prior to when I was in, at least. So I was a 19 kilo, tank crewman. You were a 19 Delta cavalry scout. Not as cool, but hey, that's not your fault. So if anyone knows, the cavalry scouts, they yes, they use a range of different vehicles. However, there is one primary vehicle that the majority of them use. If you know the name, you don't have to know the nomenclature. Just what is the name of that vehicle that our cavalry scouts use? And you will win a ceramic coating kit. That's going to be a tough one. They're Googling, asking Chat GPT right now, I bet. While we wait for an answer. So
Well, I definitely miss that machine though, dude. It just I sometimes I can smell the exhaust, and sometimes it's weird.
I rode in the back of one once. We were doing a training exercise, and my tank was hit, and I was KIA in the exercise. So I got Kazivect in a Bradley, and going from an Abrams to a Bradley, I felt like I was like in a sardine can. I'm just like, oh my god, this is the worst ride, because the Abrams, it's like a Cadillac, dude. It's so smooth going across rough terrain. And even then, like, we're bumping around. We're like, oh man, this is kind of rough. Maybe we need to slow down or something. But I was in the Bradley. I was like, oh god, all right, take me back to the tank, please.
Yeah, I think you guys are like double the weight, man, of the Bradley. But yeah, I got in a tank a couple of times, man. Those things are crazy, dude. We used to stand behind them in South Korea to stay warm when it was, dude, freaking cold there, man. Like -10 degrees.
South Korea.
But
I haven't been there.
we would park the Bradley like behind you guys, and just it would like warm up the Bradley, because some people would think like, oh, you're inside the tank, it should be warm. It's actually cold.
It's not insulated.
It's colder in there, dude. It's a freezer, dude. It's crazy.
I mean, the Abrams does have a really good heater, though.
We didn't have heaters.
If it's not running, I mean, what's funny too is the infantry would always gather behind the Abrams because the exhaust, like, you got the turbine engine, the exhaust is so hot.
Yeah,
they're all just like freezing, cuddled up behind it. Yeah, you're like, if it rains, you need to dry something off, stick it behind the tank. You could take a can of soup and just like crack open the lid a little bit and leave it on the grill, and it'd be cooked in like 2 minutes. That's pretty sweet. And I know we said Bradley like a million times and kind of answered the question. However, the first person to answer with the actual nomenclature was Mango. So yeah, the M3 Bradley is what the cavalry scouts use, similar to the M2 Bradley that the infantry uses, just with some differences. It's more purpose made for scouts versus carrying a bunch of dismounts in the back. So right on, Mango, get in touch with us. Let us know if you want the 7H kit or the 9H kit, and we will get that sent out to you next week. Steve says, come to Chicago.
Let's not skip that one comment from Enthusiast. I think we skipped that one. Let's go back to that one.
Yeah, well, okay, good catch. Can you verify most spray sealants can be used as spray and rinse? And I can tell you from my experience, no. It just depends on the chemical makeup of the product, because some products, they won't do anything as far as protecting unless you let them cure. Some products they'll quickly cure, and you can still get some of that protection, opposed to wiping on and letting it dry is usually going to give you better protection. But no, not all the products can be used like that. You just got to kind of figure out which ones work, which ones don't. But a lot of them do. I always try it out when I get new detail spray or sealant. I'm like, does this work as spray and rinse? So
yeah, I mean, guys, there's a lot of products out there, man. So I would say, like, to kind of give you perspective, like maybe 40 solid blenders in the US, maybe. But there's a lot of different, like I said, there's a lot of different products out there. You just got to test it yourself and just give that supplier feedback so they can tweak the formula and make it to how you like it. But
yeah,
I think one thing I want to talk about, man, is like this whole idea that the surface of your vehicle needs to be slick is driving me so crazy, because guys, if your surface is slick, that's a magnet for dirt. So we always get these questions like, why is Fusion not a slick product?
Because it's a durable product.
Because it's super durable. It's like a
and hydrophobic.
Yeah, it's like a hard shell, but it's like you wouldn't want to put something slick on glass, because like the moment you throw like a little dirt on it, the dirt's going to stick to it. So, and I remember I told you guys before, but like I was in some of these dumb commercials with some of these other companies. Oh, the surface is slick. You see the bottle like slide off the hood.
They love
Because
that one.
that's what they wanted. That was their target audience. But
Makes for
reality,
good videos.
yeah, it does. It sells a product, but the reality is, guys, is you don't want the surface of your vehicle to be slick at all. You want it to be bare, but have a protection on it, and things are going to bounce off of it.
It's
You
a
don't
little
want
grabby, you know.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, we've compared our products to other people, and we've made the slickness. If you want it in the product, we could put it in there, but I don't recommend it.
Fusion has been up and coming in people doing torture tests. I've seen a few of them now, and there's like, wow, okay, doing their own versions of torture test, longevity tests, and all that. But
and
yeah,
we wholesale that product for $7.
well, probably what I gotta say to your point of you don't want the surface super slick. So to take example, leaves. So a lot of people are familiar with the lotus leaf and how the water droplets just get, they beat up on the leaf and roll off. The lotus leaf is not smooth at all. If you look at it, there are just thousands and thousands of little tiny fibers sticking up. And from what I understand, correct me if I'm wrong, but with highly hydrophobic products, if you looked at them under a microscope, you would see not hairs, but you would see that irregular pattern of essentially, kind of bunch of mini towers all over the place of varying length, and that's how they are able to make the water beat up. Because a super slick surface, I'm sure we've all, slipped and fallen and busted our asses before, because the surface was wet. It wasn't repelling water at all, and it was slick, and it just became slicker, So,
well, and that's a great thing, dude, because you brought up we actually make a anti-slip product that you roll on your floor.
Maybe I need that.
Yeah, it's but yeah, at microscopic level, I understand what you're saying. It is that way, but one thing the industry is kind of lacking though too still is the education part about how coatings are applied, how many layers you need, and
so much misinformation.
If somebody's going to tell you, hey, this is a 1-layer coating, they're most likely lying to you, because clear coat is porous, guys. If you look at it under a microscope, it's got holes in it, and it's in the coating kind of sinks down into there. And the first layer is kind of like your base layer. So I always recommend 2 to 3 layers of our coating. Like our 9H coating is a 85% solids, and the 7H is like a 74% solids. That's why it's so forgiving, and it doesn't flash right away.
Yeah.
So, don't be that guy that's telling people, oh, you need one coat on your car, and yeah, it might last like 5 or 6 months, but if you actually took the steps and did it properly and did 2 or 3 layers, it would last 5 years. So
and I gotta say too, some of you may have seen the coating torture test I've been doing. We're almost at the 11th month, but the coatings that were layered are doing a lot better than the coatings that went on a single layer.
Yeah, and I thought,
yeah,
I kind of had a gripe with you on that, man, because anytime you apply a second layer, it's going to last probably a year and a half longer. So I tell everybody every layer is like a year and a half to 2 years. So, but you just got to get that foundation layer on there, and make it level with the clear coat.
So outdoor detailer, while we're on the topic about the 9H, he just bought a bottle. The instructions are very specific about what towel to use. Is it really that important for your coating?
100%. That is very important, because you want to use a low GSM count towel. That 365 that we have in the kit is perfect. It's not going to lint and stuff. So two towel wipe for sure, and inspect for high spots.
You don't want those big fluffy super dense towels.
Yeah, you don't want fluffy. The lint's getting everywhere. And here's a trick, guys. When you're doing a coating, I want you to have a bucket of water with just some isopropyl alcohol in there. And then when you're done with your coatings, throw the towel in that bucket and let it sit in there but it's going to actually take all the coating off there and let you be able to reuse the towel again. So it's just a trick to help you guys save on towel costs, because think about it. If you're doing, a bunch of coatings a year, it adds up, man.
You got to be quick with the 9H coating too, because
the
that stuff hardens pretty fast.
Yeah.
Like I remember the applicator, and a lot of people have noticed this. The applicator feels like, 500 grit sandpaper after the coating cures in there. Yeah,
the 9H is very professional grade. I really recommend doing that in a climate controlled facility. The 7H, you can do it outside. It's more forgiving. So just don't do it in direct sunlight, and the panel should not be hot at all.
Water beading versus water sheeting. Based on my experience, water beading, because products that bead water seem like they're actually protecting. Because in my opinion, if you can't protect your car against water, if you can't repel water, what are you going to repel? Ryan, what's your opinion on water beading versus sheeting?
Well, we do see products out there that are sheeting and beading. So, you definitely want it to bead as much as possible. You don't want the sheeting at all. But it's preference. It's really your preference. People can dry their car by just sheeting the water off.
It's true.
With a hose. If you're, you know how to do it, it's easy. But
I remember one viewer got this, you're wasting water. Like, I pay for the water, dude. Shut up.
Yeah. But I mean, it really just like, how do you dry your car too when you wash it?
Yeah.
I'm not a big
even the
towel
beads. I like the beads because when you use the leaf blower, it blows most of them away, and then you just get the drips with your towel. When it's not. I mean, I don't know if it saves time or not, but it's fun. So
yeah, I'm just not a big towel guy. I see a lot of these guys selling those big towels. I just don't like. I could use our 16 by 16.
That one that's like a freaking blanket. Like
yeah, dude, you hang that thing up and you just let it hang there for like a week. It's gonna stink.
That should be just like, if you get that towel while you're detailing, tie it around your neck so you got your own detailing cape. I mean, dude, maybe Ryan just start carrying them and get like an embroidery machine and just embroider their logo into it so they can have it on their flag cape thing.
Yeah. Well, like our 365, you just ring it out, man. It's a 16 by 16. I like ring it out. It's a good forearm workout, guys.
Yeah. So, I gotta say, I do prefer the small drying towels over the huge ones, because the big ones you always end up folding anyways. And then as you start to get to the lower panels, you're like, don't hit the ground, So there was that advertisement for like the freaking super chamois that's like on a pole.
Oh yeah,
that thing probably does sell to people that just however they wash their car. I know they're not like detailing minded, but like, hey, I can drive off my freaking truck with this blanket flag.
Yeah, if you're like targeting like the old dudes in the villages or something.
Yeah, the old dudes at the car shows. Yeah. They don't want to hear it.
They're detailing their golf carts and stuff. Yeah. Dude, that's a big thing, man. I'm gonna get in the golf cart
detailing.
Yeah, man.
I've seen people that have said they've made good money, just like, they go to the country club and detail all the golf carts, and like they'll charge like, I don't know, $70-$80 a golf cart. You can probably charge more because people at these country clubs got money, so.
Well, dude, just come out with a brand for golf carts.
Yeah.
Detailing branded golf cart kit.
And I've noticed because it's the branding. It's not the product all the time. Sometimes it is, but like, you got your hey, this is off-road heavy duty wash, which it's okay. It's a high alkaline pH wash. Okay, whatever. Or this is that, and it's the same products across the board, more or less. It's just how it's marketed. But marketing is a big thing with getting people to understand your brand, because at the end of the day, you're not selling products, you're not selling service, you're selling your brand. Yeah. And you can maybe develop a cult following like Adams or some of these other companies where people just go crazy over the products.
They will, man, because think about it. Even if you capture just like your city, think of the population just in your city. If you just target 10 in a 10-mile radius of where you're at, and you throw money behind the ads, people are going to see it and they're going to be like, oh, I got to buy this stuff. It's such a, like a done deal. I don't know how else to explain it. And especially if you offer free shipping, dude, people love free shipping.
Oh, they do. Yes, they do. That's
So,
why they love Amazon. And
yeah.
to add to that point too, like, because I talking to a lot of people that are trying to get their brand going. Online sales are a way to do it, but you need to get out there in your local market, because 99% of people think Chemical Guys is one of the best brands ever because of how Chemical Guys markets themselves. They don't know about all these professional brands because they're not professionals. They're not detailers. They're never going to hear about these brands. They don't care. They just, what can I get at Walmart is what they want to know. But if you come in locally and you start offering your products and people can meet you in person, that's more impressionable. Because I know guys that they're selling great in their market. They don't even sell online because they've just become that go-to guy for that. They trust them. They trust their products, things like that. But yeah, I mean, you can make announcements online, sure, but your bread and butter with getting your brand out there is just going to be going and meeting people and just selling your products face to face.
Yeah. Or even just selling the products after they detail, man. Like saying, hey, here's a ceramic detail spray. It's $10. Like, this is going to make your car more hydrophobic because we're going to keep layering it. If you want to use it, that's cool. But like, even having the mindset of, if you have a mobile detailing company, you have a mobile pressure washer company too. Like, you can pressure wash. So it's like a lot of these guys, you need to start thinking outside the box too on how to make money. You know, if you're not detailing, you can be pressure washing, and we sell chemicals for concrete. You know what I mean? So
I know a guy who he does like he's got an industrial pressure washer on his trailer. And their main thing is pressure washing, but he offers detailing too, and he's using electric pressure washer for that.
Exactly.
And like these things are multi-purpose. Like even just with your electric pressure washer, you could just do residential pressure washing. Pressure wash people's steps, their driveway, things like that. Yeah, you can always make money. And let's see, we got another question here. Do you sell chemicals to clean houses? I believe you were saying that you do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can private label household cleaners for you, disinfectants, toilet bowl cleaners. I mean, use your guys' imagination. Let's start a branded product. I need people with creative ideas, and that will get in front of the camera and demo a product. Like, you don't need to be, what's that one guy, Billy Mays or whatever? Remember him, that dude? You don't need to be him. A lot of these guys don't even show their face on camera, and still
I don't show my face on camera.
The bottles.
But I'm not selling anything. So. But I mean, you make chemicals. You make mainly chemical cleaners is mainly what you sell, and protectants. So it doesn't have to be just detailing. I mean, these chemicals apply to anything that needs to be cleaned or protected. Like if you sell grills for a living, maybe you're Hank Hill. I don't know. You could sell. You could start packaging the ceramic interior detail spray, Fusion, whatever, as like a grill cleaner and protector. I've even dabbled with the idea with you of, because I've actually got a bottle right here, the ceramic interior detailer. This has like been one of the best electronics cleaners when I have a dusty ass computer or something like that, controllers. My Roomba, I use it on my Roomba. Like, it gets all the dust off, and it leaves it so clean. It leaves that nice finish, that nice matte finish, and you got a little protection there too. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, these products can be used for anything you can think of that falls in that category. So, use your imagination.
Couch, your leather couch, everything, man. Like anything leather in your house, it's it's not just for cars, guys. Like, people think like, oh, you'd be surprised how many people are like, hey, will this soap work on like my boat? And I'm like, yeah. It's really no different. We don't need any special ingredients. But a lot of the products for car care go hand in hand with the marine side, guys, except for like stuff like the engine flush, and we make like a WD-40 spray and stuff like that. But some products, they are specific, but it's just with the car care, you only need soap, a cleaner, and a protectant, and then maybe a tire shine. And, you know, all these other companies have like 30 different products. It's confusing, man. It's like, Jesus. And most of them are all the same product with just a different label on it.
Yeah.
They just change the color and the scent. And they say, oh, hey guys, this product has graphene in it now. So,
or sometimes they just change the color and scent and they don't even lie about it. They're just like, it's a different scent. And everyone's like, ah, great, different scent, you know?
Yeah. So, guys, I hate smelling the same stuff all the time. I got to change it up. Like we had one guy
change the
ceramic interior that we changed the ceramic interior detailer setup, I think one time on a batch, but it was for a client. So we had leftovers.
Yeah.
And he was mad. And I was like, I'll try to keep it in stock, man. But
and I always tell people, I'm like, hey, you know, if you're not ordering like your custom batch,
it's coming out. It's coming out what we batch for somebody else.
It's going to be what the product is, but the scent sometimes will be different. The color sometimes might be different. It's not all the time, but it happens. Just be ready for that. Yeah, no more questions for now. But yeah, last topic I had was PC hardware. I mean, as you know, we talk about PCs all the time. I've got custom keyboard. I've got this fancy microphone. It was $40. It's not fancy. It just lights up. I've got my fancy computer here that I built, and I do this stuff for a living. You and I have been getting into Dell Optiplexes, which you think about it, you're like those crappy office computers, but I don't know what it is about it. It's just
they're a little sleep, man. They're little sleepers. So
I built one for someone because he wanted to play Space Marine 2, and his computer was too old to play it. Like the hardware wasn't good enough. And when I showed him the Optiplex after I had it all put together, he was like, dude, it's so tiny. That's awesome. Like it's so sweet. That my other computer's huge. And he was ecstatic because he was able to play his VR games and everything. But
remember how the towers used to be? Like those towers, man, were huge, bro. Like
because they had all the disk drives in the front and everything. Yeah.
Dude, it was
Who remembers floppy disks? Or who's old enough to remember floppy disks?
Yeah.
Or burning CDs
and stuff. Yeah. LimeWire,
Kazaa.
Surprised I didn't go to jail.
Napster, you know. Having the Windows media player visualizer on your screen. We don't have that anymore.
Damn, those were the days, man. AOL Instant Messenger.
Yahoo GeoCities. E-Bombs World, Newgrounds. Playing Diablo 2 online.
Yep, man. 56K, man. Like, you know what's crazy is I think about this new generation, and they just have no idea, dude. They just have no idea, like, the troubles of, like, you ask, like, any teenager, like, hey, what's 56K dial-up? And they'll be like, what is it?
I don't know what that is.
It was the slowest internet.
Man. I had a couple years ago when I was working for Sport Clips, because what I was doing cybersecurity there, and we were installing the software on all the endpoints across the country. It took a while, but we got it done. There was one girl, she had to have been Gen Z, and I was telling her, because we use this tool called Log Me and Rescue, which is just it's a remote software, just so I can remotely access your device. And I was like, okay, open up the web browser. She didn't know what I was talking about. So I was like, is there anything that says Google Chrome or Internet Explorer or Microsoft Edge? Oh, okay. I was like, all right, I need you to type this into the address bar. She couldn't figure out what the address bar was. I tried for like 30 minutes and I eventually just gave up. And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to call back another time when the manager's there, because I don't know what to do with you.
Remember when e-machines came out?
E-machines?
E-machines, remember the e-machine, like early 2000s?
Maybe. Remind me what that is.
So there was a branded, it was like an up and coming company making PCs, and it was a disaster, but their name was e-machines, but their logo was like the same as like the Internet Explorer logo. And
it sounds familiar.
And then my buddy was doing tech, and he was helping this lady, and he was like, well, you need to click on the Internet Explorer. It looks like an E. And she just kept clicking on the logo on the actual desktop. For like 30 minutes, she couldn't.
E-machine. Oh, man. Yeah, I can see that happening. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, I vaguely remember them. My mom, I don't even know what computer my mom had. My mom just went to a local computer store. I think they just built them and they're like, here you go. So, but
Yeah.
it's crazy. Computers they're so cheap now compared to, well, I say they're cheap. I mean, I know it's expensive, but I say cheap in the sense that a computer in 1995
Oh
for
yeah.
a good computer was $1,500, $2,000, which
Yeah.
in 1995 was a shitload of money, which meant like a 5-year loan to buy this computer.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why everyone had the family computers, because our parents couldn't afford multiple computers because they were ridiculously expensive. Now you can get a computer for like $800 at Costco, a gaming machine, or you can just like you can buy a cheap computer for, I don't know, like $400 or $500. It's a lot more accessible these days.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is like you can upgrade a lot of these older models too, like the Optiplexes, dude. Like you just run an external GPU off of it, you change out the CPU,
even run an
and put a
internal
bigger
one,
power supply in it, and you're good to go. It's like working on a car. You know what I mean? Like,
if you guys didn't know, if anyone's looking to build a gaming computer for cheap, you can buy it, and you can even reach out to me if you want some help with it. You can buy a used Dell Optiplex Office PC, and just for like, the graphics card is going to be your biggest expense, which is going to be under $200, but you can basically build a gaming computer for under $500, and it's
yeah,
sweet. Anyways, we had a detailing or your business related question. Difference between car shampoo and Ultra Suds, which, as far as I know, is the concentration's a little different and the amount of suds you can get.
yeah. It's a lot thicker too. It's just more concentrated. One trick I want to tell you guys, because it seems like nobody really knows this, but when you're using a foam cannon, I want you to empty the foam cannon out all the way. And then I want you to dump all the soap in there. Okay. And then I want you to use the dilution knob on the top of the foam cannon to dilute what is coming out of the canister. I see a lot of you guys fill it with water and you put a little soap in there.
I do that because I got like 20 different soaps, but
Yeah. But like, to kill time, like to not have to keep refilling it, just pour all the soap in there, guys, and then tweak the dilution knob all the way down, like to the lowest.
If you're a one soap kind of dude or a one soap kind of woman, just empty it out into because that's exactly what the foam cannon has the ratio
dilution knob on the top. Yeah, you're actually diluting it twice then, if you think about it.
Yeah, and that's why, because when you do dilute it in the foam cannon, then you got to crank the knob up to max to get the foam. But like if you have you can just adjust to your heart's desire. So yeah, there's that. So that's what that nut knob is for. Have you tried anything other than soap or like foam on sealants in a foam cannon? Or have you used the foam cannon for anything other than detailing?
Well, we have the ionic soap that's it's foam on and pressure wash off style. It's an ionic polymer, so it's not going to last super long, but it's an easier way to get the hydrophobic.
Especially like an ATV or the big truck or something like
that. Yeah.
Easy way of getting protection on there.
Like RVs and stuff, so you can get up on the RV.
Or has anyone watching? Have you ever used a foam cannon for anything other than detailing? I'm just curious because I always think I think it would be hilarious to like put body wash in it and then spray my kid with it. You'd probably think it's funny too. It's too cold to do that right now. But or just like, oh, I gotta wash the dog and just foam them down. I don't know if the dog would sit there for that though, but
yeah, you could put the car. You could put the dog shampoo inside there.
Yeah, wondering like what else you could do. I don't know. Do the dishes with the foam cannon. Might make a little bit of a mess, but it'd be fun.
You could pre-treat concrete with it too, like if you're gonna pressure wash. There's do the windows and
yeah. Right on. Well, I think that's just about everything. I've been here for a hot minute, so we'll have to do this again. And appreciate everyone that stopped by for the stream. Let us know your questions. The guys that won the giveaways. If you go to my YouTube channel, the About Me section has my email address you can reach me at. If you know me on Facebook, you can just message me on Facebook. That's fine. Or if you're having trouble with either of those, just go to ryanwestindustries.com. Email's right there. You can email Ryan directly. Say, hey, I won the whatever giveaway on the recent stream. Let us know what you want, and we'll get you taken care of.
Yeah.
But Ryan, you got any closing well wishes for the community?
Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody that buys products from us. Like, I absolutely love you guys. I wish I could talk to more of you guys on the phone. I feel bad sometimes. I ignore, not, I don't do it on purpose, but I can't handle all the texts and calls sometimes. So it is best to email us to get, you know, the order in, and Eric or Martin or, you know, any other sales reps can help you. But I would say one thing I'm looking to do, and maybe get some feedback from you guys, is move away from the 16-ounce bottles to a 32-ounce. And obviously give me your guys' feedback, because one, it's going to let me ship 2.5 gallons a box instead of 2 gallons, because we get you guys that always say, hey, I want gallons, I want gallons. Well, if I go to the 32-ounce bottle, I can maximize the volume in the box that we already have and get 2.5 gallons in there. And also, it's kind of reducing the plastic. Like, the last 5 years, guys, has been kind of crazy for me, like mindset wise, because
Survived COVID. The company
not only
survived
that,
COVID.
but like the last 4 years, we actually sort of declining in sales a little bit. But I thought to myself, wow, I've sent all these bottles out into the planet. I kind of feel like a piece of shit a little bit. So I want to reduce the plastic consumption that we're shipping out.
That's the way to think about it, because you do send
So
out a lot.
So yeah, the thing is, guys, that I can cut it by 50% if I go to 9 bottles a box instead of 60. Well, let's just say 45%. But I really want to move in the direction, guys, where I'm not destroying the planet. I'm not sending all these plastic bottles out. You guys don't recycle. I hope you do. I personally do recycle myself. But let me know what you guys want to do. You know, I want to move to the 32-ounce for our own branded product, for the Ryan West branded product, because again, it's more product, and it's the price is really not going to change that much. So instead of sending you 2 bottles, I'm sending you 1 bottle. So it kind of offsets the cost, where I can keep the cost almost the same where I'm at now. So please give me your feedback, guys.
Yeah, let us know. You know, and the more feedback, the better. Obviously, we want to. Ryan wants to make sure that he is keeping up with the demand of what people want, and the majority. That's what's going to win out ultimately. So just let us know. But other than that, guys, appreciate you all stopping by. Obviously, you're here on YouTube. That's where you can find me. You can find me in my Facebook group, Bel Lavoro Detailing Community. You can just message my Facebook profile as well. I'm fine with that. You can follow that profile if you want to. I just post silly memes all day long. And hey, purchasing from Ryan is supporting U.S. veterans, supporting U.S. companies. So that's always a good thing. Ryan, what social medias, where can we find you?
Just at Ryan West Industries on Instagram is where I'm at, and just on Facebook. I'm not on TikTok or anything. But yeah, you can reach out to us, and really email us is the best way, guys, is to get in contact with us. So I'm not always checking the Instagram either, guys, because I have to switch over from my personal. I'm not always checking that one, so I do apologize if I don't answer right away.
Right on. All right, Ryan. Well, hey, I appreciate you joining me tonight, man. But that's going to be it for this stream, everybody. I appreciate you stopping by. Keep them clean. Have a good one.
All right, guys. See you later. Peace.